Welcome, everybody, and Happy New Year to all of you. I'm Laureen Zarba, Technology Training Manager, and welcome to the Wednesday webinar. They have them every single Wednesday since the beginning of the pandemic, so keep your eye out for all this good stuff. Today's webinar is REMINE Starter Plan for Lead Generation. Been teaching that for a little while now. It's probably one of our newer programs. I do have, this is not for CE. There is a CE class on January 22nd for 2 hours that I'm teaching. If you want some more information about REMINE, they're always putting out webinars as well. But I thought I would put one out and show you some of the things that would be useful for us. So now you all have this program. It's free, like all the things that I show you. And the way that you will access it, first of all, what is REMINE anyway? It is a blended data consisting of one key MLS listings and nationwide property data. So you have access to public records throughout the country and all of our listings. We are going to be looking for today homeowners that might be interested in selling. So we're looking for, I'm going to target certain areas and locate properties in different areas based upon how long they've been living there, how high their equity is, are they owner occupied, are they distressed properties, are we looking at rental communities? I mean, I can go on and on. The more I teach REMINE, the more I find ways for you all to benefit from using it. So as a matter of fact, you'll probably come up with some things yourselves. Before I forget, your videos are off, so it's not a meeting like you're used to if you're taking Zoom classes. Also, you are muted, so I can't hear you. Actually, I can't see you or I can't hear you. So if you have questions, you could put them into chat. I'll take a look at them and have Ethan here who's helping me out, and I'll wait at the end and kind of go through them. A lot of times I answer the questions anyway, but I'll stop periodically and look at that. Don't want to forget that. All right, so we are looking for listings today. So that's basically the objective of the class, and also for investigating properties. I think this is a really great program for all of you. And remember, a lot of this is public record data, which is not 100%. So, you might pull up your house and say, wow, this is wrong and this is wrong. And that's what's going to happen because it's public record. But I find that a lot of it was pretty good, pretty accurate as well. So how do we get into the program and how do we get started? So we all know how to get into Stratus because you're all members of LIBOR. And in here, I'm in my Stratus right now. On the right side where it says one key MLS links, this is how you get linked to a lot of your programs. And you'll see kind of midway down, REMINE, REMINE. If it asks you to log in, use your credentials for Stratus. Okay, so you're going to use your LIBOR number and your password for Stratus, which is great, right? So then you can log in and you'll be in here. Basically, don't log out unless it logs me out by some reason. So you got it. So if you just came in, again, welcome to the webinar. I'm Laureen Zarba. We're here to learn REMINE and do some lead generating. And it's located in Stratus over, can you see my mouse? Over here. Okay, so I'm already open, so I'm going to start with that. All right, I'm going to give you like a brief kind of tour here on some of the things that we will use. Now, you'll see a lot of the programs now have this left bar navigation instead of toolbars. I guess they're kind of outdated now, but you can look at the side and that's how we move around. So the cup of coffee, I don't know if you can tell, it's a little coffee or tea, whatever you drink. So in the morning, you have a daily pulse, a market pulse. I really like this. So let me show you how this works. It'll take a minute to show you this. And it puts these cards here. The only card that you're going to have, let me just minimize my picture here. I'm going to look at myself there. Okay. So the market pulse is what is happening in our MLS, right? So we have over almost 8,600 active listings. It's going to say 0 under contract because we don't call them under contracts anymore. We call them pendings, and that's why it says that. And you do have pendings here. and withdrawals and all of that. This is for the entire MLS. But I did add a card, and I'll show you how to do this. And I put my zip code in where I live, and I have 9, not much happening in my area, 9 active, 21 closed, 6 expired. But here's what you can do. And I think a few months ago, this wasn't working, but I checked it today before the webinar, and I'm really excited that this is working. So I have 9 active listings. You see the blue? If I click on it, it's actually going to pull up those 9 active listings, and they come up on the right here, so I can check them out. Well, let me go back to the cup of coffee over there. It says daily. I want to see the expireds. I can click on. So these are links, automatic links taking you to our listings based on those status changes that are in there. And then they come up all on the right, which I'm going to show you this screen. I'm going to go over it. We're in the map, but you do have a list. So if I want to see the listings that way, just about every program now has lists, right? Stratus always had lists. Collab has lists, RPR, they all have lists. So you have map and lists. Always keep your eye out for that. Let me go back over here. And so you got all of these things that you can click on. So how do I add a card? You just add a new card. Now you can add updates. Now we're not doing anything with engagement. We have, that's working with buyers. Really, we're looking for leads today. That's what we're looking for. So you want to add, you can add your listings too. See what's happening with that. Market Pulse. So I have a card over here. It's doing the whole entire MLS, but I already have one. So to put your zip code in, you just press this down arrow by all, type your zip code in, 11772, it's Patchogue, still live there. Now here's the thing, press enter, otherwise it doesn't catch, okay? Press enter, and now I got a market pulse for Patchogue. There's 30 active listings, 79 closed, and so on. Think this is terrific, really excited that you can just click on this and go, oh my gosh, there's 2 coming soon, so I want to see what they are. And that's the daily market pulse. That's all I'm going to say about it. You even get the weather report, 50 degrees today. If you need that, okay, just a little extra perk. All right, I'm going to kind of walk through a couple things that are going to be important for us today on the search, which is the next thing, which is going to be really, really important for us. This is where we are going to, oh, I have some filters in here I have to clear out. Okay, let me just clear this out. This is where you can search for listings. Not going to spend much time on that. We're going to do public records today. Again, you can search throughout the country as long as this is checked. You see this up here? Nationwide search. Check it and leave it checked. Don't ever touch it again. Just leave it checked. That's what I do. Because I think the first time you come in here, it's not going to be checked. And then you won't be able to check, on your brother's house who lives in North Carolina. So that's going to be checked. We'll get to this in a minute. The next thing down on your navigation bar is save searches. If you want to, I didn't save very much, but you can save a search here, and that's where it'll be located. The next one is your shopping carts, your carts, and really important in here. So when we look for properties based on, say, no mortgage or cash buyers or commercial properties, whatever it might be, we need to add them to a cart. Because what we're going to be able to do with this is we're going to be able to create a mailing campaign where you're going to put in mailing labels you're going to create. You can do postcards in here, and then you can download to Excel. So all great stuff. I'm going to show you the method to this, and the carts are part of it. If you look at my carts, I just been doing this one. I thought this would be a good one for you if we have time. Creating your neighborhood or your farm area. You could put them in Excel, and I'll show you how to do that. I did a Huntington high sell score. I did Patchogue high equity, open houses, and I just deleted a bunch of stuff because I teach this probably once a month. And in my classes, I'll ask, what do you want to look for? And we kind of do things, cool things together, cash buyers and so on over here. Now, here's something before I forget that's really important is that you get 10,000 properties, okay? So it seems like a lot, but if you're putting a lot of things into your cart, it's gonna fill up fast. So if I'm doing an area and I got 1,000 properties, you might want to zoom in a little bit and refine the property amounts. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in there. So we got to manage this. So if you get to 10,000, it's going to tell you, and you're going to start deleting things. I delete things all the time, so I never get to 10,000. You guys are, I'm not a realtor. I'm not an agent. I'm a teacher. I have been teaching here for a long time. So I try to get you to do as much as you can. And my stuff is just practice. But yours is going to be real. Now, we're not doing engagements or chats, but contacts I want to show you because it does have a database that you can keep track of contact information in here that's located in the public record. I'll show you that, like emails and phone numbers, things, people's names, homeowners, a lot of information. You go, wow, that's in there? That's what I said when I looked at mine. So you're gonna want to take a look at yours today, but you can keep track of it in here. And look at this, real exciting too, is you can export to CSV, which is Excel. Love that. Now, one more thing over here. My name's Laureen. A lot of you know who I am. In here is where you can go to settings and make sure your picture's in, and make sure that your contact information is correct. Every program you do that, right? Should always do that because we have to worry about it again. Okay, so let's get started. I have 25 chats in here. Let me just take a peek over here. I missed that you can get, if you can get a chance. What did you miss? I don't know what you missed. We'll receive a recording of this webinar. I don't know if you will receive a recording. I know the MLS does. I'll have to ask Ethan. It is being recorded, but I'm not sure if they send it to you. But I'll let you know about that. That would be really helpful for you. All right, so I kind of walked through the things that we're going to be doing over here. Again, if you came in a little later and you missed how to get into REMINE, you get through the Stratus Info Center, and on the right side, you have, here it is, see my mouse, REMINE. Log in like Stratus if it asks you to log in. Otherwise, it just logs you in automatically. All right, let's go to search. This is where we're going to work a lot in here. It actually is really fun because, I love investigating properties and checking things out, and what one program doesn't give us, we might be able to find it in here, things like square footage or whatever it might be. But up at the top, so on the left navigation bar, then I have a map, okay? We're all familiar with this. You got the island, you have upstate, Queens, the whole area. I checked nationwide search, told you that was going to be important. Just leave it checked. Yours will probably be on listings, okay? I automatically move it over to properties, which is a blended amount of information. So you're going to get listings and you're going to get public records all together. So how do we manage that? Which I'm going to show you as we do that. If we look at, let's look at one now. When we're looking at maps, and that goes for all programs, what you see is what we call field of vision. That means now up here, I have 1.3 million properties here. It's crazy. So if I zoom in a little bit, again, now I have 95,000. I look at that number a lot. Okay, right now it's not that important, but it will be. So if we click on, let's see this listing here. Okay, this is a listing, one of our listings. It's active. It's been on the market. Wow, a lot of days. Okay, 170 days in Deer Park. Here's the MLS number. According to this, it has 532,000 in estimated equity. So every listing and every public record will tell you this. Important, right? They're sitting on money right now. They've owned it for 23.6 years, and here's the homeowner's name. Right? You get all of that, even on a listing. Here is the price, $629.9. And then a lot of public record detail on here that you'll get the property information, you'll get the tax information, property history, mortgage history, which is a key thing for REMINE is the mortgages. They're basing things on mortgages. They have an active mortgage here. I don't know if this one's active, schools. And at the bottom, I just want to show you something. The owners' names will come up at the bottom. Now, because this is a listing, we're not getting emails and phone numbers and all of that. Thank goodness, because it locks it for listings, but public records is out there. Everything's out there, which I want to show you. Like I said before, we're not going to do much with listings. So how do I isolate just the public records? Now, this is important. You want to come up here and make sure you're on properties. And the next thing you do is you want to add a filter. Now, if you are using this for listings, that's not my intent today to show you that stuff, because we have a lot of programs to see our listings. We don't have many programs for geographic farming like this one, but you know, you could do statuses in here and things like that. Sometimes open houses I'll do in here. But for us, we want to do off market. Do you see that? Off market. Don't forget that. And check that. This way I'm getting anything that is going to be a public record. So that's what I want to do. So so at the beginning I kept forgetting off market. And then I go, oh my gosh, I'm getting listings. I forgot to put off market in. All right, before we do anything with this, I want to show you up here where you have your search bar. See this? It says addresses, cities, zips, neighborhoods, schools. A lot of information up there. I just want to take a minute to show you how to use this. So if I wanted to pull up an address, I have a couple here that I'm going to use with you. So this is a public record, 35 Lindgren Avenue, Smithtown. Now it tries to figure out, now remember, we're searching the country now, so there might be that address like in Wyoming. So we've got to be careful, make sure we're in New York. So here it is here. I click on it. The house is not for sale, as far as I know, but it's a public record. So the first time you come in here, you might want to put your address in and see what they're saying about you, okay? In here, so let's take a look at this public record. It's a single family resident. It has 225,223 estimated equity. This year equity, okay? That's how much of the house they own. They've been in the house 10.9 years. Todd and Maureen Alderman is their owner's name. The value is $721,857. You see that? And that is an AVM, an automated value model, which we don't really go by because it's probably off. Like there's estimates and things like that. But let's see, what else do you get in a public record? So you can kind of see, you get a lot here. Now, I'm scrolling down on this guy's public record and we get the parcel information with the footage, flood risk, location. I can see where it is. I can zoom in and out, a little map there. And then, you get your street view. You have key stats about the property. I'm always looking for square footage, but I don't know if I would completely go by this one, all right? Tax information, estimated values, market values. Here's property history. So they bought it in 2022 for $371. What do they want now? $721. Woo! All right. And then in 2013, somebody else purchased it with 4 of them for $371. Oh, that was them. Okay. I'm going to have another transaction here in 1995. Here are the mortgages. And when I pulled up my house, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had all those mortgages. And what mortgage was it? Homeland? I forgot, something like that. I don't remember now. I have a few different ones, but you can see mortgages. If the mortgage is paid off or they bought it cash, we won't have a mortgage here. You'll see, I'll pull some of those up. The schools that they'll go to. Oh, I love that. I have the elementary school in here. That's great. And then here's your valuation model, like the estimates. We all know what that is. Again, check yours out and see what they're saying. We don't really go by this because it's AVM, automated value model. But down here, this just look at this, owners and associated people. So the owners come up. Now Todd here has 4 pieces of contact information. 4 phone numbers, 2 on the do not call list, DNC. Now, I don't know what a call situation is, so I'm just gonna show you what you got here. I'm not telling you what situation we're in, where I don't think we can call, but you know, ask your broker. Here's emails. And then Maureen down here, let's click on her. She's got a phone number. It doesn't say DNC for her. Now, you know, they could be your neighbors. You can save these into the contacts I showed you on the left. If you see that, let me save Maureen here. Saving her. And then I don't know why it's saying that. And then let me see if I can save him. Hold on a second. I don't usually save them. Unable to create a contact. All right, it's not letting me, but that's how that's how I did it before. All right, so that, when I came in here, I was in here, my husband was in here with his information, and my son. So my son's not in there anymore, but we're still there. So that, a lot of information in the public record. All right, let me continue. Keep my eye on the time here. I get into my teaching mode. All right, so that's an address. Okay, let me show you another address. I think I already have it in here. I love that it remembers certain things, but of course, it moved down the list. Here is a North Carolina one. I was talking about a brother. This is my brother's house. They like to be isolated, so they like to be by themselves, and boy, they are over there. So you get a nice house for good money. But like I said, you can pull up a public record anywhere in the country, okay? Anywhere. So here's his public record for that. Probably, since we're dealing with public records, zip codes might be the best way to search. I always said that for Queens, especially Queens area. Use zip codes as we go. All right, the other thing in here, if you've taken my classes, you know there's always one more thing with me, always one more thing to show you. See these little boxes down here? Easy to miss. You can put somebody's name in and find out how many properties they own. Okay, so whose name did I put in? Oh, I'll put in, putting all my relatives in. Don't tell them. Okay. My other brother. Anyway, so here is that public record for him because I put his name in, and maybe didn't know the address. Anyway, these are kind of cool things. You also have an MLS number search, agent search, office search. And this one is that number that you get, the assessor's parcel number every property has. So I just want to point that out so that you, and then remember some of your searches to clear that out. You good? Okay, so I showed you a public record and I showed you what a listing looks like. All right, so to me, the richness of this program, and I always show this because I think this is so cool, is the filters. Now I need to be in off market, which I am, and I need to be on properties, which I am. All right, now as we start working in REMINE, it's going to add filters, so you got to control them. There is a clear filter over on the right, but it's going to clear off market too, and I have to remember to put it back in. So sometimes I'll just X out the filters as I go. This number is going to be really, really important. And over on the right is showing me everything that is in my field of vision on the map. Okay, so that's how we look at this. Right now I got a million things in here, so I need to kind of get a little closer. So let's just go, I'm going to put a town in. Okay, let's just do Huntington. So I could put a town in, I can put a zip code in, I could put an address in, or I could just kind of zoom in. You know, I just want to get a lot of properties to show you. I use the mouse for this, but you do have a plus and a minus if you want to get closer. So I want to get closer and closer, and I wait. Whenever you're using a map, just give it a chance to catch up with you. Now, I'm waiting for something to happen. I'll show you. Hold on. Get away from these lakes. It's spinning, so it's thinking. It's still spinning. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get these blue dots that come up on the mouse. I'm not the mouse, on the map. I think I got too many to show. Let me get closer. Now it's gonna come up with 0. I'm gonna take Heinz. Something. Something didn't happen right. Hold on a second. Let's just take Huntington off here. What happens, here's the blue dot. What I find happens with REMINE, just so you know, is I think I go too fast for it. I click too fast and then it kind of gets stuck. Sometimes I'll have to leave the program and come back in to refresh it. So just be aware of that in case that happens to you. So these blue dots are public records. So this is a great thing to do in your neighborhood to kind of see what's happening and check out public records for your neighbor, or maybe that's going to be your farm area. So if I click on one of these, see this guy in the corner here? That public record is now on the right side. So I can check out that guy's public record, girls, when I say both, I don't know what this is, blur, it's a public record. Or if I want to click on this one, you see, I will get that public record. So you need to zoom in really close to see the individual homes. Now, the reason I zoomed in, can I zoom out a little bit? I'm taking a chance here. Oh, I want to see more dots. Yay. Okay, lots of dots. Now, over on the left are, oh my gosh, these great filters. You want to be off the market. I know I repeat myself, and you want to be in properties, not listings, because we're looking only at public records. And I want to show you what you can use so that you can start thinking about how to put some kind of farm together, or what market you're looking for. You'll see. So the first one is property value. So when I click on that, the darker the green, the higher the property value. So you see some dark ones over here and some lighter ones. Now, if I click on these here, let's say, see, from 750 to $1 million, I got them all over here, and I can press apply and they will come up on the right. You follow? This is where we're going with this. I know I'm not going to do any yet. I'm just kind of showing you around. Are there any like $1 million and over? So I don't see any. I'm seeing not in that particular spot. The next one, home equity. This is such a great one. People are sitting on a lot of equity. They're not sure if they should sell. And, it's a whole confusing thing. I know, because I'm there too. Home equity. So the darker the colors, the more equity they have in their houses. You see over here, and we're going by this legend here in these boxes. So this dark red one, that's 750,000 to $1 million. They have in equity. Okay, this one would be 50 to 750. And you can check more than one, which we are going to, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I just want to show you what you have available here. So that's your equity button. Ownership time. Boy, time does go by fast, because look at those dark green ones have been in the house over 20 years, right? See down here? They might have high equity. They might be in the house over 20 years. They're thinking about selling it. They know their house is worth something. So that might be a good place to look for somebody, a potential seller, right? Another place for that. And these filters or layers, if I call them layers, I mean filters, you can put them on top of each other. So you can just, been in the house over 20 years and has high equity. You follow? The next one is ownership time. Okay, I just said that. Sell score. You're kind of seeing this a lot lately, sell score. I see it in a lot of different places. And a lot of the agents will ask me, Lorraine, what does that mean? Now, what I know it as is, and they say it's 50% accurate here, 50%, is anybody that's been in the house for a long time, has high equity, might be potential sellers. If they just moved into the house 2 years ago, they have no equity, well, they're a low health sell score, you know what I'm saying? And the whole point is, if we're gonna be sending out mailers, do you wanna be mailing to people just moved in? You know, you're wasting time, money, they're throwing it away anyway. So you kind of want a high sell score. When I teach this class, I always say, you know, this is the easiest one to do. Just do a high sell score. And maybe you get a listing out of our group in an area, 50% accurate. And they base a lot of it on the mortgages. That's what I'm finding myself from looking at this program. So that's here. That would be a really easy one to start with. There's some more here. Now start thinking, why would I want this? Absentee homeowners. So these like gold color ones down here, they might be renting. They might be renting these houses. Unless it's a second home, depends, you know, sometimes they have a second home, but if you wanted to target renters, maybe they want to purchase a home, you can maybe do that with the absentee homeowner here, you see? There they are down there. If I hit apply, whatever numbers here will come up on the right. Yeah, let me hit apply, I'll show you. I got 22 in this area and they will be on the right. Okay. I'm gonna take that filter off, so I'm just gonna uncheck it. And this one's absentee out of state. So I don't see any down there. I don't see any. But that's a good one to think about, right? What we can do with that. Now here you have owner occupied and corporate as well, if you want those. Now there is more here, so this little arrow, don't miss out on some of this other good stuff here. Flood zone risk, I haven't really seen too much. I probably didn't put enough time into it, but if you get some waterfront areas, you can see the flood zone risk area. Building types. Okay, I have single family, gray. Condos are darker. Are your condos down here? Oh, see, now I lost my public record. I zoomed too far out, but it is like a little sensitive spot here. Kind of want to go there. What did I just do? Oh, I checked that. Multifamilies are these gold ones down here. If you wanted that, I just did a search for condos with small square footage in Long Beach just before class. I kind of play around to see. That might be potential where they might want to sell that and buy something bigger. All right, you never know, right? So those are the kind of things that I kind of looked at with that. Here's land use. Okay, residential. Oh wait, I have absentee still here. See how it kind of stuck here? Okay, so that filter, I need to get rid of it. Land use, all right. So a lot of residential, these blue ones are land here. This one down here looks like it's purple, industrial, and so on. Again, I'm just giving you the tools. You guys figure out what way you want to use it. I'm almost done with this part. Mortgage rates, oh wow, a lot of deep purples. That means they have high interest rates on their mortgages, right? I know. I don't think it will ever go down. I wonder. We'll see. But these are some high ones, 6%, and the highest is 6% plus here. Last sale price. The darker the color, the higher the prices are. And I think now the last one is distressed. Oh no, I got two more. Distressed properties, which I'm not having a lot of success with, but if you zoom out and get the whole area, you'll get some list pendants in there, foreclosures, if that is a group that you want to see, maybe they'd like to sell, or whatever the case is, maybe you work with an investor or something. And last but not least is my cash buyers. Oh wow, look at that. Now I've been looking at these, and are they really cash buyers? I don't know, but I find that they really don't have a mortgage, so maybe they paid it off already, or maybe they did pay cash, but these are cash buyers here, like the little money symbols. Cool stuff, right? All right, let me show you. Now, do you have any questions about that? I don't know why my font is so big in here, I can barely read it. Okay.
We had a couple questions in the Q&A.
Okay, yeah, help me out. Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, so first question was just asking is this going to be replacing Stratus or is it going to complement it?
Oh, this is a complimentary. This is aside from Stratus, okay? It's like all your other programs that you have access to, like RPR, right? Collab, I can't think right now, Instinet, which is transaction desk. So this is not replacing anything. This is just here for you to use anytime you want. All
And
right, what's the other one?
we had one more related to that. Natasha was just asking what the difference between this and RPR is.
Oh, that's a good question. I get asked this stuff a lot because you have so many things that you have access to. It's almost like, what do I spend time learning, right? I know you're asking yourself that. So what I do is I try to figure out the uniqueness for every program. Now, Strategy your MLS, so you need to use that. This program does a lot of things Collab does with buyers. So RPR for RPR has a nationwide search too. Awesome. It generates reports, but we're not really getting the detail of public records like this and being able to farm areas. And I didn't get to that, doing the mailing labels and all that stuff that it does in here. So that's the difference. I know a lot of our programs overlap. They do the same thing as some of the other programs. But I always call RPR is like our analytical program, great for CMAs and doing a lot of sales reports and buyers and things like that. Anything else, Ethan?
Yeah, we have a couple more questions. Do you want to take them now?
Give me two more and then I'll move on and then we'll save them to
Okay,
the
yeah.
end, okay?
We got a question. We may have moved past this, but it was about the mailing list.
Yeah.
It asked when you're doing the mailing list, if the owner is deceased, then where is it pulling the mailing info from? Does it go to the heirs?
Well, you can put in current resident. You don't have to put their name in. It'll go to whoever's picking up the mail there. So you have two choices. And let me just teach that first before we ask any questions. I might be able to answer that.
Okay, yeah. And then let's see, is there any more good ones to go through right now? We had a question about if we can print labels from here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing it right now.
Okay. All right.
I'm doing it right now. You ready? So what I just did, we kind of just showed you around. So now we're ready to go. So we're gonna do one. I'm gonna do one. Let's West Islip. I don't know. I just kind of throw that in because I'm close to it right now. We want West Islip. So I typed it in. This is the area. Okay, I got over 9,000 public records. I'm gonna zoom in a certain area and I'm using the plus. I don't need a lot. You can kind of drag your mouse around, but I'm looking for any homeowners that might be interested in selling their house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in mortgage age. Look at this one, they have no mortgage. Wow, that's a really good one. We'll say, let's do has no mortgage. What the heck? They have no mortgage. And they have high equity. Let's do that. Ownership time. Let me find my equity. Land use. Here it is. It was hiding on me. They have high equity. They have all equity. They have to have high equity. Let's just start with no mortgage. They don't have a mortgage. That's a real easy one. I need to zoom in. Wow, that many people have no mortgage? I'm jealous. Someday, I always said I don't know now, maybe. To stop the refinancing, right? All right, let's take this group. Okay, so all of them, they don't have a mortgage, so maybe they would be good. And this is the process. I have 112 of them. They're over on the right side. We select them all. You ready? We put them in a cart and we give them a name. West Islip, no mortgage. It's for you. Now, the thing is, when you Now, if you press enter now, it doesn't save it. So you have to click on the name. See, it's gray down here, and then add them into the cart. All right, once you got them in the cart, you go over to the left. That's your carts. And they'll be at the top, the last one. West Islip, no mortgage. This is the group. So I select them all or pick the ones I want. Once you get this going, you have more mailing labels, okay? So let's take a look at the mailing labels. This has the owner's name in it. Now, if I'm looking for maybe renters, I might not want owner's name. I might do current resident. Okay, so you can change that. And it won't come up with a name. It'll just say current resident up there. I'm going to leave it on property owner. Again, here, mailing address may be different than the property address. 5160s is a standard mailing label. If you don't know, Avery, make sure you buy them. Generic ones still have to match up the number, okay? And then you print your labels. Easiest labels I've ever demonstrated. Here they are. So all of them have no mortgage. They live in West Islip, and you are not sending mailings or postcards or something to somebody who just moved in, who has no equity. They're not even thinking about selling at this point. Okay, was that easy? Oh my gosh, I'll do a few of those. So that was here, more. Now, the other thing that you can do with this, was I think is pretty fascinating, is you can send mailers from here. Now, this, however, has a cost. I haven't done them, but I've talked to agents who have. We put in a campaign name. I'm just going to say test. Maybe yours is your open house or whatever it might be, dream house campaign. And the company here will take whatever you need. Now let's look at this. These are the smaller postcards, or maybe I like the bigger ones, which I do like the bigger ones. There's 112 postcards for $94.86. You would have to pay for that. But any agents, and I'm not selling this, believe me, but any agents who have used it said it was so worth it, because you design it, you put in your picture, you put in your logo, you pick, there's a whole bunch of designs in there, and they print them and they mail them out. So that cost covers everything. You don't have to be bothered. They don't give them to you and then you mail them. They just take care of the whole mailing thing. And if you're only doing 10 postcards, it's the same amount as if you would do 100, the same amount per. So it's, see, and you go in here, I'll just show you. I don't go too far in here, but I have, some of you out there might actually have used this before. Here's a general farming one, a holiday one, an open house one, a spring one, and you go through and you pick pictures and things yourself. Okay, so print it and everything. It's here, especially for my new agents out there that might not know what to do, don't have a mailing campaign, and might want to start doing something like that. Okay, again, a little cost on that. If I only wanted to, you know what? I only want to send 4 of them. I can just check 4 and go to this mailers. There's not a certain limit. So for 4 postcards, how much is that going to cost me? Let me just look what that is. $3.23. Huh, I might get a listing out of that. All right, so that's there too. And this one here is export. I think this is really important. Now, if you're not farming, you don't have a CRM, you keep hearing these terms, database, keep track of a certain area near you. I would keep it, especially if you're a new agent, you might want to keep it smaller and not gigantic, and get to know the area. You can export them to Excel, okay? So in here, everything's a test with me just to show you. If I have that, yours is going to say all columns. Now there's hundreds of fields, so that you're going to have a lot of data. I probably would pick, see, this is how I did it. You can pick, you know, maybe the homeowner's information, the mortgage information, the phone numbers, the addresses of the homeowner, things like that. See this down arrow? That's how I did it. And then you can export it. It will go into Excel as a CSV file. You're familiar with that. And then you save it as an Excel workbook, and you could do once you get things in Excel, you can do labels and you can do form letters, and what a great way to start your business, especially if you're new or you're not organized. It's the new year, time to get organized, okay? So then you can start doing that with export here. Now, here's the thing, where to go? Okay, I'm always like, now that your downloads are now going up, so you gotta kind of look up here. I don't think it's ready yet, like RPR, when they do their the reports that come up. But here's the key, is that if you can't find it, it'll be located down here in alerts. Who knew that? Why does it say alerts? Why don't you just say downloads or something? And in here are your here's my download, I did a couple before. So here's the download. And all of these properties with the homeowner's information, now it's up here, are here. I can save it on my computer. So I know my neighborhood, whatever area it is. So those are the three key things for you guys to be able to do. Mailing labels, then you can do mailers. Actually, I didn't show you, it does form letters too. And then you can download it to Excel, and in here you can sort and filter and merge. And I'm not teaching that today, but you can do all of those things in Excel. Woo, wow, okay. So now that you see how it works, let's do a couple other ones, all right? And I hope I'm answering your questions as we go. All right, let's do a couple layered ones. Now I go to search. Now I'm taking this filter. I'm not going to click clear filters because it's going to take, I'll do it just to show you. It's going to take off market and I'm going to start seeing listings. So how do if I go here, off market, important that you remember that. And then this way I'm getting the public records. So if we want to put in, say I'm looking in Syosset, I just start typing it, you notice. And now it took me over to Syosset. Now this farming thing, I mean, we don't have listings outside of our area unless you are part of another MLS, but you could, maybe you're looking to buy someplace, you know what I'm saying? You can maybe do a mailing to somebody somewhere else in another state, somewhere warmer and doesn't rain so much, or something like that. All right, so I'm doing Syosset, I got it here. And I'm gonna do high equity. I think there's a lot of people sitting on houses that have high equity because they're like, if I sell now, they're thinking about it, but they're not sure. And I'm gonna do ownership time. They've been in their house over 15, over 20 years. See how I'm doing this? Now the filters are going up at the top. The number's still pretty big. It's almost 1,200. So I kind of, oops. As I get closer, my number is going to get smaller because I have too many public records. Kind of like this area here. So now I have 192. But there's one more thing I want to do. I want to put in single family. And that would be located in building type. Single family. You could put condos into if you wanted to, or maybe you're just looking for multifamilies, whatever your thing is. Okay, now I know I got single family. Now you can draw shapes too in a certain area. I will show you that. So I have 80. Again, now here's the method. I'm just trying to keep mine down. I don't want to get up to 10,000 properties. So I'm selecting them all. What am I doing next? I know I can't hear you, but we're putting them in the cart. Okay, cart. I'm calling this Syosset. You can call it whatever you want, but I'll just call it Syosset for time's sakes, okay? And remind me, I gotta show you how to delete carts. Because it's just a little strange way that you do it. All right, now I have these 20. They're a single family, they have high equity, they've been in their houses over 15, 20 years. Great, maybe I'll get a listing out of that group. So we go over to the carts. Syosset's at the top, this is the group I just did. I select them all, and from there, then you'll see, oh, here's the mailing labels. Let me do that again. Print mailing labels. 5160s, you do have a couple other types, some bigger ones down here. But like I said, easiest mailing labels you ever did see. Here's just a little tidbit on mailing labels. I tell the classes this, I was a business school teacher, is when you're printing out of your printer, my printer, X a piece of paper, put it into your printer, because you can put them right in like regular paper and see whether they print up or down before you put the mailing labels in, okay? And then put your labels in. So this way they're not printing on the bottom or the top, or you're messing it up. Just a little FYI for you. The other one was this, because I can hear somebody say, can you do that again, Maureen? Okay, yes, I can. Send mailers, you give it a name. I'm using test because it's just faster for me to type. But, you know, it might be your general farm you're doing. Now let me show you the other things in here. You have postcards, you have letters, you have yellow letters and snap aparts, which I don't know what you use those for, honestly, but here's letters. You were doing something like that. We're doing mailing postcards. Wow, 6 by 11. That's pretty big. I like the nice big ones. So this is going to cost me $16.94. Again, you design it, they print it, they mail it out, and that's the cost. Okay. I'm not sure how it gets to that part, but it's here if you want to use it. I'm sure some of you are going, wow, that's really easy. Yes, it is pretty easy. And I've heard good things, just saying, okay? And again, you can download it to Excel over here. All right, I think I have time for one more. I think I'm gonna do a farm one with you. I can go on and on with this stuff. Like I said, I'm teaching, if you need 2 little credits, I'm teaching REMINE on January 22nd. It's on Zoom because it's only 2 hours, and you will probably get a lot of the same stuff. But then I can talk to you and you can kind of give me ideas, and I put all different, I learn more and more every time I teach it because there's a lot of things we can do with this. Oh, all right. I'll look at the questions in a minute. But this is how I kind of did. Now, remember to clear your filters, okay? I'm just going to X them out. Of course, I X'd out off market by mistake, but it's always good to see it again. Here it is, off market. I'll do my area. So I live in Bellport, a little town, little village. See, not much activity over there. Well, there's agents doing stuff all the time, but maybe my neighborhood, you know, whatever your area is, or you're trying to establish an area. Where's my area? I'm over here. Okay. I can use these shapes here. They're really, really easy to use. I would use a polygon. That's that first one. There's a square and a circle. So I only wanted to, from here to here to here. Actually, this is my neighborhood to here. Now you're going to notice that the other numbers didn't disappear. It's because I still have Bellport here. A lot of programs do that. I get rid of Bellport. I'm only going to get this area here, 75. See these 75 houses? That's my neighborhood. So maybe I would like to do a mailer to them and just let them know I'm out there. You know, they want a free market analysis. Maybe you're interested in selling your house, or I'm having an open house, whatever your thing is. That might be something else that you could do. I'm going to select them all. I'm going to put them in the cart, and I'll call them my neighborhood. You getting the idea on how this works? And then add them to the cart. Now I have them in here, right? Remember the carts are on your left here, and I could click on my neighborhood anytime I wanted to do a mailing to them. Okay, there's so many ways that you can, you know, maybe it's a community event that you're hosting or something like that. You just want to send it out. I just come up with so many different ideas, don't I? All right, let me look at some questions. Ethan, you want to help me with this? Because
Yeah, let's see, because we got a lot. Um,
Can we upload our own list? I don't think so. But you know what? I haven't really looked for that. That would be a great thing to be able to do, but I don't think you can upload in here. All right, anything else? Go ahead, Ethan.
let's see what it means. Jennifer asked if you can show how to delete the cart. Did
Oh,
you?
yeah, yeah, oh, that's really important. Okay, let me do that now, and then I'll take another question. You have access to REMINE Pro through the MLS, okay? So it's free for you to use, except for those mailing mailers, not the mailing labels, they're free. But you get 10,000 properties, so you gotta keep on top of this stuff. So these listings, these cards here, how do I delete? All right, West Islip, no mortgage. Here's how you do it, watch, a little strange, like I said. I'm like looking all over, how do I delete this thing? There's no delete, I'm right clicking. If you hit the down arrow by the name of the card, it says delete. See that little arrow here? And here's the thing, you gotta type the word delete. Oh, I never did that before. I gotta type delete and then delete. Lots of deletes. So now that frees up some properties for me, right? Now these don't refresh. I don't know if that matters to you, but if I was doing expires or open houses, they don't gonna update if I'm using listings in there, but for you guys, we're just doing public records. Here's Huntington High Cell Score. I wanna delete another one. I hit the down arrow, delete, type, delete. All right, anything else, Ethan? I got a couple minutes. It's easier for you to read it than me. I don't know why they come up in big fonts here.
Let's go. Let's see. Did you show how to draw the area? Um, I guess draw the area that you're looking at. I feel like you
Yeah,
might have shown
I could do that
it.
right from here.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, and then you could put an area in, or you could drag your map around. You have shapes over on the right side. I think the polygon's probably the best one to use because there's no dragging. It's just clicking. So you get see the cross, you click. And now I'm not on the mouse, I'm not dragging. I'm just moving my mouse. You get this string or dotted line here. And then I click to anchor it. And then I click to anchor it, anchor. And I'll get all the properties in that area. There's 398 of them. From there, this might be a really good idea. I could come over here and say, you know what? I'm looking to see who bought their houses in cash. Cash buyers in there. We'll get a little closer. They can't all be cash buyers, can they? Let's look at a cash buyer before you go, okay? I have another minute. Telegraph, telephone communications. What did I just? I didn't do single family. I didn't do single family in here. Let me see. Let's just look at this one. Really interested in the cash buyers. I don't know. What I found is they usually don't have a mortgage, but I don't think it filtered out right because this guy's got a mortgage in here. But that's how you do the line. Now, if you want to get rid of the line, here's something that might catch you too. There's no delete shape. You just go up to your filters up here and you'll see this says polygon. You just exit out. All right. Anything else that I need to look at? Because it is 1 o'clock. Boy, that went fast. I hope you enjoyed the webinar and picked up some really good tips on that. I will be here next Wednesday doing the Wednesday webinar again. If you want to join me for the MLS Touch, okay? So I'm going to be showing you that new app. Some of you have been using it because I've been asking the age. Some of you have never heard of it. It's a free app that we just got here, our Stratus users. So it's called MLS Touch, and that will be next Wednesday, same time, same place. So join me then. And is there anything else? I think we are done. Okay, everybody. Good luck with everything. Stay safe. Happy, healthy New Year to all of you. Okay, I'll see you maybe next week or on the 22nd. Thanks, Ethan.